Ladies and gents, internet, my name is Peridiam, and it's about time we get clotheslined by the blind side.
I've yet to really be involved in a blindside. It's time. Blindside time.
Ninth person voted out of Survivor fans versus favorites. Corinne. Corinne, the tribe has spoken.
All the way from downtown in the editing suite of the CBS studios or wherever they edit the show, this is gonna be a slightly different video than you might expect. But hey, everyone gets blindsided from time to time, just roll with it. Here's my preamble, let me explain. I've watched a lot of Survivor in my life, maybe too much if we're being frank, and at a certain point in my superfan career, I began to get comfortable with what to expect. And that point was right after a few seasons, 3 seasons probably. It's a pretty quick phenomenon that I think most Survivor fans experience, expecting the expected. You watch a few seasons and you start to realize there's only so many ways you can split a vote or edit an episode. You get comfortable. You think you know what you're getting. You build up a narrative in your head of what's gonna happen next, and then confirmation bias keeps molding the story to prove yourself right. It happens a lot when you watch suspense movies, particularly whodunits, where there's a list of suspects and it's up to you, the viewer, to crack the case. The only problem is you're being set up. You're really just along for the ride. Your job is not so much to find the answer as it is to be entertained by the journey to get to it. But that won't stop me from trying. And a lot of times I get it right. I predict the winner from episode 1. I can tell you who's gonna make the merge, who's drawing dead a few weeks in. This ain't my first swap episode, love. Conversely, sometimes I don't get it right. Sometimes I'm left shocked. And so here are my top 5 unexpected Survivor editing blindsides. Number 5.
You want to know what's funny? I have people on my side without doing anything. I get a good vibe from Nate. Sash was saying how he wants to be in alliance. I feel like I can get Kelly purple, and I'm really tight with Chase.
After Heroes vs. Villains, I was a newly minted superfan. I thought I knew it all. Going into Nicaragua the next season, I fully expected Parvati 2.0 to emerge. And what did we get? We got something just as swell. We got Brenda, the Black Widow, who right away was spinning Chase into a tizzy. Brenda reminded me a lot of Parvati, and that was a good thing. Brenda was cunning, strategic, she said a lot of smart stuff, and she carried herself with a lot of confidence. But here's the thing. I didn't think Brenda was so much the winner. I mean, look at Parvati from the season before. Fool me once, shame on you. But if you had told me that Brenda didn't go further than 10th place, barely halfway into the season, I wouldn't believe you. After leading the LaFleur tribe through the pre-swap, the post-swap, and even going into the merge, she was primed to work side by side with Sash, Chase, Nyanka, Purple Kelly. She had an army at her beck and call. In my head, she was the queen to be. I was ready to attend her crowning. And what happens next? All of a sudden, the floor vanished beneath me. Brenda was the target. She wasn't scrambling to save herself, and out she went. Her army turned on her. I was so shocked. I didn't understand where this came from or why, and yeah. The story producers got me good.
It's like a little bomb just dropped in here. Boom. Purple Kelly, weigh in on this. Give us 20 years of wisdom.
Well, let me tell you, 20 years of wisdom. I think that this is the first tribal council I felt completely out of the loop on what's going on, to be completely honest.
11th person voted out, the 3rd member of our jury. Brenda, that's 5, that's enough. Need to bring me your torch. Brenda, the tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Number 4. Through every episode of Worlds Apart, I was convinced of 2 things. First, that Mike was the winner of the season. There was just no way, no matter how outnumbered he was, that he wasn't going to be the winner by the end of this. And second, that he was absolutely going to be sitting next to 2 very unlikable players in the final 3. My number 4 incident on this list is the Rodney boot at the final 4 of Worlds Apart when Mike ties the vote to save Carolyn to give her a fighting chance at firemaking against Rodney to earn her a spot at the final tribal council. But all season long, I watched as Rodney was lambasted and dragged over the coals, from his bizarre takes on men versus women in the pre-merge to over-the-top antics against Mike and the fighting and the arguing and the crying about not getting rewards or having to do dishes on his birthday. This guy was a joker. There is no way he's winning. And then you couple that with Will, who was akin to a dead fish all season, or Dan, who was, well, it was a lot. Mostly a fat guy who spoke with too much brevity about the depth of bamboo. You're telling me Mike, the blue-collar strong all-American hero, isn't gonna beat down two of these guys in front of the jury? You're telling me Carolyn is gonna lose a jury vote? It would be so easy to vote her out at the final four. Mike won the game the moment that he won that final immunity. Sorry, Mama C, your goose is cooked. You're the fallen angel who came up just short, but hey, second chances, eh?
2 votes, Carol. 1 vote, Rodney. 1 vote left. Rodney, we have a tie.
Wait, what? Mike tied the vote? Mike, you didn't have to do this. You won the immunity. You're playing with fire, man. Just take the easy layup. Call it a season. You've been through enough. Anyway, the fact that Rodney got booted at 4th and Carolyn was in the final 3, that was my 4th unexpected editing blindside, that Rodney didn't get nuked by the jury, that he was kind of well regarded by the jury. They appreciated him a good amount, and it wasn't such a bad idea for Mike to tie the vote after all. But I didn't see that coming. So good on Mama C. And you know what? I say give her a second chance to do it all again.
Yes! There it is. Yes! Carolyn will survive, make it to the final 3. Rodney becomes the 8th and final member of our jury.
Number 3 and 2. And sorta 2.5. We're talking all about the same season with these next few blindsides. The first being my number 3, San Juan del Sur. From early in the season, I was convinced that one person was destined to be sitting in front of the jury by the end of the season. And that person was Baylor. And let me just defend my wrong, incorrect self for a second here. Between her emphasized relationship with Josh, to her season-long story with her mom, Missy, to how connected and well-insulated she was with almost everyone, John and Jacqueline, Natalie, Alec, everyone just sort of seemed keen to take her far. We saw a good amount of the story from her perspective too, but it was never enough for me to believe she could be the winner. So, I had concluded after, lots of analysis, incorrect analysis, that she had to be a player who A, went far, B, lost the game, and C, because we heard so many players' thoughts on her as a person and a player, we the viewer would understand by the end of the season why she would lose a jury vote. It all made sense. Every week came and went. Baylor was occasionally up for consideration to be voted out, but otherwise, she was gravy. No sticky situations for her. She had a one-way ticket punch to the finale, getting her mom's vote from the jury, and that's about all she wrote. And then Natalie happened.
Jacqueline, did you vote for who I told you to vote for? I'm playing this for Jack.
Okay. Jacqueline does not count. Jacqueline does not count. Jacqueline does not count. 13th person voted out and the 7th member of our jury. Baylor, need to bring me your torch?
Love you.
The very first video I ever made on this channel was all because of that move. And based on this video today, I gotta say, I took that move personally. You're telling me Baylor isn't there on day 39. She's a juror. Missy was the finalist between the two of them? Wow. Drop the mic. You know what? Jeremy's right. Nat balled out.
Clearly, Nat balled out. Like, you gotta just give it to her. She balled out, so give her her credit. You know what I mean? Don't be mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all wish we were there, but we ain't. You know? What are you gonna do? Don't be mad.
Number 2. And speaking of Jeremy, let's talk about him. The first half of the same season, San Juan del Sur, took me for a ride. Not a ride I enjoyed a ton, but through every episode, I fully believed we were destined for either a Josh or a Jeremy win. Either of these two guys were winning the season. We had so much focus on them, from their personal lives to their strategy to their decision making. It was bizarre how strongly I believed either of them could be the winner, no one else, not knowing that come the merge, it would turn out that neither of them was the winner. What the heck happened to Val's 14 idols? Instead, the editing was setting the season up for a major tonal shift at the midway point. Jeremy and Josh were two titans about to clash, gathering their numbers as the merge approached. And once the merge hit, we even had a calm before the storm, with Julie quitting until suddenly we would find out which of the two leaders was going to take this season by storm. Josh fell first, and to me, it sealed the deal. Jeremy was the winner.
I would like Jeremy either this time or next time.
John's saying Jeremy's a threat, Jeremy's a threat. Now may be the time to take out Jeremy.
Classic winner misdirection.
That's 4 votes Jeremy, 3 votes Reed, 1 vote left. 8th person voted out and the 2nd member of our jury.
Wow. Well, all right then. Ladies and gentlemen, internet, we've got a season before us. Anyone ever seen Kill Bill?
It was definitely John in charge of the whole Blindside. And, you know, if I want to give John a little bit of a taste of his own medicine, I want to do it for Jeremy. It's just figuring out the right plan and the right moment. Keith, don't worry about me. You know, I'm smarter than I look sometimes.
Alec, need to bring me your torch.
John is on my hit list. He's been on my hit list since he sent Jeremy home, so it's been a long time coming. I need to make some moves soon.
Yeah, Nat balled out, number 1. And then finally, we have what I believe to be my biggest blindside by the edit, a whole dollop of misdirection, one wrong guess after the next. It's frankly embarrassing, over 2 hours worth, but who's counting? The Edge of Extinction, the finale. I didn't know Chris was coming back, and at the time, I didn't expect someone who had been voted out 3rd to ever stand a chance at actually winning. There's just no way, right? Personally, I strongly believed the winner was going to be Rick, but if not Rick, hey, maybe Lauren, and if not Lauren, Victoria. Nobody else. The weird thing was, going into the season, Jeff Probst had billed the story of this season as a quote-unquote murder mystery, like a whodunit, a surprise, to be sure. But a welcomed one? If I'm reading this correctly, Jeff, you're telling me the winner is going to be Reem with a snippy one-liner on the edge.
Man, you are not in good graces here, sweetheart.
Hey, this is better than I thought it would be.
Dude, don't get excited. Listen, dude, you can bet your rear end you're gonna get it tomorrow from me, just so you know. It's a game. Everybody's a liar. Welcome to the edge.
Miss Positivity over here.
It's just been a long 30 whatever days.
Imagine my surprise when Chris comes back. Who? And Victoria goes first. Okay, fair, that's fine. It's still gotta be either Rick or Lauren. But then Lauren gets voted out, and it is not a flattering Final 5 tribal council. But Rick has been crushing it in the narrative, in the edit. He had been crushing it all season. I even picked him in my True Contenders video, where I narrowed the winner down to just 4 players after a few weeks into the season. I saw something special in Rick as a player, and here he was at the Final 4, the doorstep to $1 million. All he had to do was walk through it. All he had to do was make a fire. And then it all came crumbling down.
Trust your gut.
I feel like I'm at a high-stakes poker table, and I have a hand that might win, but it also might not. So I might have to be just flat-out daring. Stick all my chips in and let whatever happens gonna happen. All bets are off. It's for $1 million, man. It's the biggest risk I'm taking. So tonight, I am offering up my immunity necklace. Oh my. Giving it to Julie. And I will be making fire against Rick Devens tonight. Wow.
The moment Rick lost the fire-making challenge, I was absolutely flabbergasted. I didn't think Julie could win based on the story we had been told, and I was hesitant to call it for Gavin, but Chris? Chris is the winner. The first time in Survivor history, a player who has been voted out actually wins the season. No way. No freaking way. No. Oh, okay. This was the mystery Probst talked about. And the murder? Well, after examining the body, it was the entire swap and post-merge of this season.
Dun 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 dun. This just into the newsroom. Chris's flame breaks the rope in Devin's heart. Plus, an applause as he exits brings tears to his eyes. I'm Rick Devens. It's been a pleasure bringing you the news, but this is all for us.
So, there you have it. Those are my top 5 unexpected Survivor editing blindsides. Being blindsided not so much by the players on the island, but by the story producers back in the editing suite. And I just gotta say, as someone who has been editing edited Survivor footage for years now, editors, producers, I tip my hat. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if there are any moments in a season where you were surely convinced something was gonna happen. You could just feel it in your bones, and then it didn't. A big thank you to my patrons on the screen. Seriously, I also tip my hat to you guys. And in the end, on your way out, don't forget, you can't always be right. This video is nothing if not a necessary ego check. And I will see you in the next one once
Eric, he's running after the chicken and he gets clotheslined by the clothesline. And it's like Tweedledee and Tweedledum.